just give me a minute to file. Well, I'd have to go room. Okay, go ahead.
Good evening, my name is Ted Donald, I'm with Penn Dot Ventures.
Would you please pick up that microphone and hold it? Everybody can hear if you hold it in your hand. Just pull it out and it works better.
Yes, good evening, my name is Ted Donald, I'm with Penn Dot Ventures, and we are proposing to develop the Dollar General store adjacent to the building here. And we're hopeful that we've satisfied all the concerns with the engineering people and site plan approvals, and we're ready to get started.
First of all, Dan, I don't know if you will make your comments, and then I think we board members have some questions.
Sure. All the comments have been addressed that were required of the developer. If the board recalls, there was some discussion last month related to the wall, the west elevation facing the township building, and the developer has agreed and put on the plans to make that a full masonry wall. I spoke to Chief Polkovinsky, and he and I reviewed the landscaping that they were proposing and actually cut back some of the landscaping in front of the building as proposed, just to prevent any site distance issues with this driveway leaving out of the police department. So we've incorporated the police chief's comments into the landscaping plan, and then finally the planning commission did recommend approval of the plan with no contingencies. The developer has his highway occupancy permit. As I understand it, he has his approval from the Conservation District. So barring an approval, he'll need an approval of his building permit plans as a separate issue outside of this, but he's ready to go.
Thank you, Dan. Any questions from the board members?
I have a question. Sir, 3.23 acres, is that the entire area?
Yes,
On this side of Route 50, that's everything?
it is.
Okay, that's my only question.
So you had mentioned at one point that there was a portion of that property that was potentially up for sale to the township. Is that no longer available?
Mr. Ginesso and I have not had any discussion. I'd be happy and welcome to have that kind of dialogue, but we have not had that discussion in probably a couple of months.
That's interesting. So is there property available or not?
It could be. It's residual land that we are not planning to develop at this particular time, so we probably will sell it and would look to sell it.
What is the distance of that or the amount of that property
I'm sorry, it's about an acre in size.
towards the township building?
Yes, it'd be between our building and the township building.
Roughly what width? I think you're asking my frontage. What width might there be?
Excuse me one second.
I believe it was about 250, 300 feet.
Who's talking?
Up
Can you
frontage?
stand up?
Yeah, sure. Yes, I believe whenever we looked at this months ago, it was around 300, but that's just a rough guesstimate.
Do you have a survey?
No, we did not perform a survey of the distance between the two at this point.
But you have a survey of the property as a whole?
Yes.
Okay, we have a survey, and depending on what we do with that lot, then we come back into the subdivision of the lot. But you can see the site plan there. If you just took from the edge of the pavement over to the building, over to your property line, I mean, all the way back to the creek is really the area that we don't have any need for.
It doesn't look like a ton of usable property to us, correct? He had mentioned, Mr. Geisworth had mentioned that you had agreed to do full masonry siding just on the side of the township building or all the way around?
We'll do the front of the parcel, facing 50, and the wall along the township building. The rest of it will be steel and landscape around
So you're gonna have a building that's basically masonry on this side and the front, but not the back and the other side?
it. It'll be masonry on the two sides. You know, masonry just kind of hangs there, right? It's not a structural thing, we just put it up there, it's for aesthetics.
Right.
So yes, we'll have it on the front and on the side, not on the two sides.
Okay. I know when you were here last month, there was a concern about that Columbia gas line. You know, that's still a concern of ours, that at some point, or I shouldn't say of ours, of mine, that at some point there will in fact be an agreement that we all saw surface again that would force you to move your building closer towards the township. And I just want to make sure that you are 100% confident that that agreement would not force you from putting this building where you're presenting it
I
today?
am 100% confident the site plan you see right behind you, and the site plan that you're approving, the building will not move.
I have a question. Have you entered into an agreement yet with Columbia Gas?
Columbia Gas has an existing easement. If you're looking at this plan, the right-hand side to the rear, Columbia Gas, we've met with them 3 or 4 times, and they've asked us for perhaps modifying that easement to some degree and adding to it. So I can tell you with confidence that the building that you see there will be constructed that way. And the easement is really, it's a little bit hard to decipher. It's on the right-hand side of that right-hand corner, south-southeast, I think, is where that line goes. So it does not affect the building. It does not affect the residual parcel that's there.
Have you entered into an agreement?
Have we reached an agreement?
Yes.
Columbia Gas had an agreement with the landowner, John Hoffman.
Yes, but I understood the last meeting that you were working with them to make changes on the agreement.
We are working together. We have not finalized anything.
Okay, so nothing's finalized yet?
Nothing's finalized, but the easement that you see on that plan exists. That does not affect our construction.
So I guess my confusion comes, you were not aware, or at least you seemed unaware at the last meeting of this agreement that we were shown related to, basically running through the middle of this parcel of land. Now all of a sudden, you're saying there's an agreement for an easement towards the far right corner, but then you're also saying that you're 100% confident that the building will not move. So it just seems like it's not, and then you're saying like you don't have an agreement with Columbia Gas yet. So how can you say that building will not move if you don't have a finalized agreement and there was an agreement that we saw that kind of disappeared out of thin air?
It's a 3-part question. I'll answer it.
It is.
The easement that exists today is an unrecorded easement that was given by Mr. Hoffman. It's not a matter of property. It was never recorded.
There's no recording on Hofferter property?
No, ma'am, there is not. What you saw was an agreement. The agreement was never recorded. That doesn't matter, right? I mean, they paid a certain amount of consideration. They have the right to use that land. What you see is what was purchased. We know where that goes. We know right where it is. Columbia Gas acknowledges that's right where it is. What you suggested the last meeting was that residual land was encumbered and it could not be used. Right? I can tell you at that meeting, that was not my understanding. It is not my understanding today. I can show you that there is no easement recorded on that parcel. Mr. Hoffman is here this evening, and he will tell you that there was no agreement ever made with Columbia Gas to encumber anything other than what you see here.
Well, that is an agreement that was entered into between Mr. Hofrichter and Columbia Gas. Mr. Hofrichter is now deceased.
His son here is the attorney in Washington, PA.
Yes.
He's sitting here in the audience, and
Okay,
he
that's
can be very
fine.
specific with
But
what I can tell you.
what I'd like to ask you is this. It was, the agreement was signed and notarized. It is recordable. Now what I want, yes. Now what I want, you say it's not recorded, but it is recordable, correct?
It is. It could be recorded, but it's also
Okay.
delineated. The easement
Okay,
is not a blank
what I would
easement.
like for you to do is if and when you ever make any changes to that agreement, would you furnish Mr. Janusa with a copy of it so that he can distribute it to the supervisors?
I'll distribute it to Mr. Janessa.
Yeah. Thank you.
I have no problem sharing it.
Okay, thank you.
You guys concern me with it because you seem to think there's something here that isn't. And I appreciate your concern. I will tell you that we build a lot of these stores. We're pretty good with title. We have the landowner here that tells us that there was no agreements made other than what we know. So I'm happy to share with you if it does get recorded.
Thank you.
And if something should happen, I'll share that with you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you standing there saying that right now, but for lack of a better way to put it, it's just words. We haven't seen any of the information that you're talking about. At the meeting where you stood before us last month, you looked genuinely surprised that with some of the questions we were asking.
You were telling me that my property was encumbered by a blanket easement. That's what you were suggesting at the last meeting, and I find 180-degree opposite of the truth. So I was of the assumption that perhaps you knew something I didn't know. And as we meet with Columbia Gas, we've got 3 different meetings with them. The only piece that they're talking about is the piece that we all know, that the easement was signed, that you had a copy of, right? And that is unrecorded. That's it.
It would be helpful, though, if you answered our questions without insinuating that, you know, we're trying to make this difficult, or I'm not sure exactly what you're saying. We have the right, because you're coming into our township, to ask you whatever questions we want to ask, and it would be helpful if you just answer them.
I'm happy to answer.
As far as you had mentioned that the exit of your parking lot, I know we've had this conversation before, is relatively close in proximity to the exit next to our police station. Now, Mr. Desroth had mentioned that you changed some landscaping, but there was also some questions as far as, you know, if somebody's turning out of your parking lot at the same time somebody's turning out of the township building, could that in fact present a problem? And I think you had mentioned at the last meeting that there was the potential to move that entrance or exit over a little bit or whatever. Has that been considered or addressed?
I think that we have satisfied Penn Dot and the HOP requirements, and they obviously have great input as to where the driveways go, and we have it approved by them. So at this point, I don't see us making any changes there.
There was also a concern that there's a property directly across from your driveway that is currently up for sale. I think Supervisor Cowan was the one that pointed out that if somebody's pulling out of your parking lot at night, there would be the potential for constant bright lights shining into, okay, somebody did, into that home. Has that been considered?
I think it's a fact of life when you live across from a commercially zoned piece of property that there's going to be a certain amount of traffic that happens. If we are approved here today, we'll put a sign up on the property that says coming soon, Dollar General. That should be constructive notice to everybody of what's going to be happening. So we haven't given a lot of thought. Our most pressing issue was to satisfy Penn Dot and the HOP requirements, which are stringent. And this is where the entrance has determined that it makes the most sense to me.
The depiction on your site plan, it's depicting, it's not directly across from that house. Is that an accurate depiction?
That's an accurate depiction of where it is. It's not directly across. It's a little
Okay,
bit
all right.
to the east.
Any other questions? All right, is there a motion to approve this site plan, so site plan and land development plan for the general?
I'll make that motion.
It's been moved. Is there a second? I'll second that motion. It's been moved and seconded. Carol, will you do a roll call vote, please?
Can we have discussion?
Yeah, sure. That's what we did. You're welcome to
First,
discuss.
second, and then discussion. I just would ask the board, I don't know if we should hold off, or could we wait one more month, maybe table this, and have the opportunity to evaluate that pipeline or that gas line there?
I think it's a smart
Or have any
decision.
other answers that you may have?
While I appreciate what, I'm sorry for what's your name? Mr. Dahl was saying, you know, we're telling you we saw an agreement that you're saying you never saw, but then you're telling us you have agreements that we in fact have never seen. So I have, you know, we have been in situations in the past where we've approved something and then we're kind of stuck with it, stuck with whatever, and I understand there's rules and laws and regulations and ordinances around this, but once it's approved, it's approved. And my concern is, would you come to us, you know, down the line and say, well, that easement, you were right, or it isn't exactly what we thought, so we need to move it over. And technically, you own that property, and you could make it more centered, and then it's a whole other set of issues.